All right, y'all, for this will be your trade ideas for 8/22 for the week of 8/23 through 8/27. All right, so we're going to start with SQ. All right, on the month, SQ is green, but it's not too up in force because it is not above. The price action right now is not above the previous month's high. So we'll mark that. It goes to up in force. All right. Go down to the week. It has a potential 1-2-2 reversal. So this 1-2-2, if it goes 2 up this upcoming week for square, it will break back above being 2 up in force. All right. So we'll mark that. This would be your entry right here. Entry calls week. All right. And with the 1-2-2, the target isn't the 1. The target is the candle before the 1, which is this 2. So this technically would be PT1. All right, for the week, PT1 calls week. All right. Then we go down to the daily. You see, you already got a 2 down, 2 up reversal right here. So, and then we'll draw the broad information. If this is where it's reversing off of, this was the bottom right here. Draw back a low to a higher low. And then we draw from a high to a previous high. All right. Oops. All right, switch her on to us. So the entry for calls on the daily is going to be above 263.5. Entry calls daily. All right. And so PT1 for calls is going to be right here on this 2-2 continuation. I mean, PT1 calls daily. And then if it goes puts, this would be an entry for puts. And then price target 1 for puts would be right here. PT1 puts. All right. So if I widen that out, your entry for calls on the week is 267.38. Your entry for calls on the daily, your entry for calls on the week is 267.38. Your entry for calls on the daily is 263.5. And then your entry for puts is on the daily is 257.08. All right. Then you see your price target 1 for calls on the daily is 266.67. And then your PT1 for puts on the daily is 254.14. All right. Don't forget that the month of for SQ goes back up to 2 up in force above 267.77. All right. And then your first price target on the week for calls for SQ is 289.23. All right. Go down to the 4-hour. It's not much of an earlier entry for calls, but there is an earlier entry. So you got an earlier entry for calls on the 4-hour at 263.05. Entry calls 4 hours. And then for puts, your entry for puts on the 4 hours 261.2. All right. So that's SQ. Next is RBLX, which I already did. It's my second time recording this. I messed up again. All right. So if we go to the month for SQ, not SQ, RBLX, you'll see it's an inside month, but it's green. So continuity is green on the month. On the week, what we're looking for is a 2 down, 2 up reversal. We got a hammer right here. All right. So your entry for calls on the week for RBLX is 84.56. Your price target on the week, PT1 on the week, is Price target one for calls on the week is 87.52. We go down to the daily, you can see how I drew the broad information. So this is where price reversed off the top. All right, so I drew from this candle back to this green candle, and then where price reversed off the bottom, I drew for this candle back to that candle. All right. So on the daily, you see the entry for calls on the week and the daily are the same. All right. But your entry for puts on the daily is 81.13 because it would be a 1, 2 up, 2 down reversal. The inside candle isn't the price target. It's the candle before the inside candle, which is the bottom of this 2, which is 79. And then your second price target on the daily is 73.9 for puts. All right. And then your second price target for calls would be on the daily, because the first one is this PT1 for the week. The price target 2 on the daily is going to be 89.87. All right. Then if we go down to the 4 hour, you see we have an inside 4 hour, mark the high, mark the low. The low, which is the entry for puts, is 82.6, your earlier entry for puts on the 4 hour. And then your early entry for calls on the 4 hours, 83.63. Because what we're hoping is that the early entry, whichever way it breaks, will end up triggering. So if it goes 2-1-2 continuation, this early entry on the 4 hour, hopefully it triggers the daily entry, because the price target is the daily entry / week entry. And then same thing, the price target for a 2-1-2 reversal is right here. So hopefully that triggers, the puts for the daily. All right, and so on and so forth. Remember, time frames flow together. So that's RBLX. Again, when you're picking your contract, you're hoping to be in the money by the time it hits your price target. All right. So for RBLX, you can look at the 85 call, and if it goes puts, the 80 put. All right. Next would be HD. So Claire John said, boom. For HD on the month, it's a 2 up, but it's red. All right. So for it to go back 2 up in force, it would be need to break over 333.45. So 2 up in force month. Boom. Go down to the week. All right. See, it's almost like a hammer, not really though. But right here, we'd be looking for a 2 down, 2 up reversal. So the entry for calls in the week is 335.63. Entry calls week. Puts is so far down, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not like it can't go, but it would do a lot. It would move a lot on the daily first. But the PT1 for calls on the week is gonna be 338.58. PT1 calls week. Green. All right. I'll draw the broad information on the daily. So right now, the broad information would be, I would say from here, from this low to this higher low, and from this high back to this lower high. All right. So that's your broad information. This is where price reversed off the bottom. This is where price reversed off the top. So we'd be looking for a 2-2 continuation on the daily. All right. Or it could just go inside tomorrow and then break up on Tuesday. We'll see. You never know what happened, right? So entry calls daily. All right. PT1 for the daily is going to actually be the entry for calls on the week. Obviously, it got a ways to go, but that way your entry for calls on the week is actually the first price target on the daily. As you can see, HC had gap down. So now it's coming out this gap. All right. What else was I gonna say? But that's really it. I mean, if it ends up going down here for puts, entry puts, daily. All right. And then this would be your PT1 for puts on a daily. PT1 puts daily. Just we never know, some bad news could come out. We never know. All right. So boom. Then on the 4 hour, you have an inside candle. It's not really worth marking the earlier entry for the 4 hour for calls because it's so close to daily but we can mark it for puts just in case it's an inside candle tomorrow for HD entry puts 4 hour. All right. So for calls, HD, you can look at potentially like the 335 call. Because by the time we hit our price target, we want to be in the money, and we would be in the money before we even hit our entry on the week. For puts, you could look at like the 325 put. So by the time if it triggers the daily entry, it already be in the money. So you could look at the 325 put for HD. Then after that, go to the month, got PayPal. And one more after that. All right. So PayPal, 2 down red month. All right. On the week, 2 down red week. All right, let me clear some of this stuff out. Move drawing. It's move drawing, move drawing, move drawing. So with PayPal, it'd be a 1-2-2 reversal, right? So entry for calls on the week would be right here. Entry for puts. It's easier to do this one for puts. This be your PT1 for puts on the week. All right. So PayPal entry calls week. All right. Entry put. So your entry for calls on the week is 279.19. Entry puts week. All right. Then you got your PT1 for puts on the week. PT1 puts week. Boom. All right. Then you got your PT1 for calls. PT1 calls week. All right. So your PT1 for puts on the week is 260.19. Your entry, your PT1 for calls on the week is 282.37. Go down to the daily. It's either going to be a 2-2 continuation or it'd be a potential 2-2 reversal. All right. So entry for calls on the daily is going to be 273.94. Then your entry for puts on the daily is going to be 269.54 entry puts. All right. And as you can see, PayPal got a gap. So if you want to buy further out, if you want to get like the September 17th expiration, you can, to see if PayPal actually starts moving up, because PayPal, as you can see on the month, it's red right now, but it could go green above 279.89, which is below the entry for calls on the week, right? So the month could go green and set up a 2 down, 2 up reversal. And so you could, if it does look good, maybe you don't want to get that September 17th expiration Monday or Tuesday. But if you like, all right, this week definitely did the 2 down, 2 up reversal. Like once you see it go 2 up on the week, you can be like, all right, I might get the September 17th expiration for this 2 down, 2 up month reversal, or even go with the October. I don't know how much it costs, but just so you can catch this potential gap fill, right? Because let's say it does it in September or it fills in October, you can catch the move from down here all the way to up there, which would pay if you have, a good enough expiration, further out enough expiration. All right. So the first price target on the daily for calls would be 275.57, just to give you an in-between price target between it before it hits the entry for week. So PT1 calls daily. All right. And then on the 4 hour, it's early entry. So your early entry for calls is 270. Your early entry for puts is 272.1 entry puts 4 hour. And then your entry for calls on the 4 hours, 273.46. Entry calls 4 hours. All right. Again, same thing. You could get the 275 call for PayPal because you want to be in the money by the time it hits your price target. You can get like the 270 put. All right. Last one is going to be DraftKings. DraftKings green. Let me clear this drawing set. Green month goes back up two up in force above 53.70. I mean above 53.39. So 2 up in force month. All right. Then on the week, it'd be a potential 2 down, 2 up reversal. All right. Entry on the week. Boom. I ain't gonna worry about marking puts right now. Kind of pressed for time, but you would mark the low of the week for puts. So entry calls, and my bad for getting this out so late to y'all. I really, really, really apologize. It won't happen again. Entry calls week. All right. Then PT1 for calls on the week is going to be 54.72. All right. Go down to the daily, draw the broad information there. This one's kind of hard. Probably would draw it like from here back to there. And then from like up here back to here. So ugly broad information. But if DraftKings goes 2 up right here, 2-2 continuation entry calls daily. Blah. Boom. Your PT1 for calls on the daily is going to be right here. So entry, not entry, PT1 calls daily. All right. And then your entry for puts is below 51.25. Entry puts daily. Then your PT1 for puts on the daily is 50.97. PT1 puts daily. All right. And then for the 4 hour, got a good earlier entry. Move that. Say entry for calls on the 4 hour is going to be 52.1. And then your entry for puts on the 4 hour is going to be 51.79. All right. And that's what you got. And again, for this one, you can look for probably like maybe like the 53 call for DraftKings, and maybe like the 51 put. All right. Also double check the volume open interest. I didn't look at that, but always make sure you got good volume open interest. But yeah, make sure y'all check out the Twitches. Follow me on Instagram and everything like that. Like I said, this one's gonna be short. I don't know how much volume and everything gonna be this week because the monthly option contract expired. So I don't know if there's gonna be much volume and stuff this week. We'll find out. And that's why I like the list. The lists that come out during the week are more fine-tuned than on the weekend because we know what's going on and opportunities present themselves. Because everything could gap down tomorrow. You know, everything could gap up. You never know. So with those different scenarios, it presents different opportunities. So thank you for tuning in to your trade ideas. If you need anything, message me and I'm out. Peace.